Hey everybody, it's Cody, Dixon Land RC here on this early Saturday morning, filming the unboxing of the new Boom Racing BRX02 Land Rover Series III 109. I have not taken this thing out of the box. I have not looked at it. I've tried to not look at pictures of people that got theirs yesterday. I wanted to be completely transparent when I open this. This is going to be pretty emotional for me. If some of y'all don't know, a little backstory on my childhood. My father built this shop that you see behind me and all around when I built all this stuff. He built this thing by hand to restore Land Rovers. Old series trucks to be exact. This is what he did. This is what I did my entire childhood. We spent an entire summer one time driving to the Canadian border in Maine, through all the New England states, and then came back in a Land Rover. So we camped and we went to Land Rover rallies, went to Land Rover places, went to people's houses that had Land Rovers, and just everything. My childhood memories are pretty much everything involves a Land Rover. Pretty much every single thing, except going to the beach with my grandparents. That's pretty much about it. That they lived at the beach, and I went there every summer, pretty much. Besides that, a Land Rover was in everything I did for the most part. We went mud bogging, we went rock crawling, trail riding, every single thing you can imagine. We did it. Back in the 90s, there was no rules, regulations like there are now. So you could about go anywhere. We had a place here in town you could go to that was just this big sand pit with water or with ponds, and you could just do whatever you wanted. It was great. He had Land Rover rallies at this place every year. People would just show up from all over the country. There's people that flew in from other countries. People would bring their crazy built Land Rovers. We had Camel Trophy trucks show up, like legit Camel Trophy trucks show up. One I remember the most was a Series II, which is the one right before this Series III. It was an 88, which is the short wheelbase model. It had a 302 Ford motor in it, and I always thought that was the coolest thing because it made the choppy noise, but it was a Land Rover. It was just such a weird, cool build that guy did. All kinds of crazy, wild stuff. And even after he decided to not have a Land Rover rally anymore the next year, people still just showed up. They just came and just tent camped in the yard. It was crazy. Like, it become a not rally is what we called it, and it wasn't even, a thing that we did. It was people just showed up. It was just wild. This thing that he grew out of buying a Series 2, a Land Rover when he was 20 years old. And then I'm amazed that I don't have one, to be honest. I really do want one. Right now, they have skyrocketed in pricing. If you don't know, go look and just see. You can get rusted out, clapped out ones for 20 grand, which is ridiculous. Dad used to pay $500-$600 for one just because the people wanted it out of the yard, kind of thing. So that doesn't happen anymore, and that's fine. Whatever. I mean, I'll get one day, but I'm not in no rush trying to get one. So I really do think when I take this thing out of the box, it's going to be slightly emotional for me. I've waited for a series truck hard body for quite a while. I know there's plenty of 3D printed ones out there, but I'm not a big fan of 3D printed bodies, mainly because in South Georgia, the heat is the killer. This shop gets hot during the summer inside of it. I don't care. We've got insulation on the roof, and it doesn't matter. It's hot in here. So I just worry about that being a problem. I haven't had a problem yet. I've got a couple 3D printed things here and there, but I mean, I still fear putting $300-$400 into a body and then it just melts away or deforms or warps or whatever. So getting a nice hard body plastic body is really been the ultimate goal. I sent Jason a message years ago asking for a series truck, and he always told me just hold your horses, and that was all I ever did. So here we are. And I really want to talk about, if you've ever owned a BRX01, how big the box is that it comes in with the body and the chassis. I think that mainly has to do with the killer body. That body set is already in a box. They just took it and set it in a box and then built the BRX01 around that. So the reason why that box is so large is because of the killer body set, because it's huge anyway. I really want to talk about how small this box is. This is really good for us as a dealer. Main reason why I never kept the BRX01 in stock was, here's the reason why. I order it, I pay shipping, it gets here, I have to ship it to you guys, you have to pay shipping as well. You guys know how much shipping is, it's not cheap, so it becomes a hard thing to do. I never really wanted that to happen. I hate that I can't keep a BRX01 in stock at all times, because it would be really cool to have one here. I try to have one for UST at least, because I know that's, you know, people want to buy one there for sure. But this is going to be a game changer as far as how we keep, as a dealer, these trucks in stock. I know some other dealers in the country have them and they keep them, and that's fine. I'm glad they can, but they're also charging way more than what you can just buy it direct from AGTs for. So, you know, there's a plus and minus to all that. So this box is small enough. It's only 13 pounds. It's 21 by 10 by 9, which is a super small compact box, which means this will probably ship UPS relatively inexpensive. So let's hope for that. I haven't checked yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be decently priced for shipping. So I've got 3 of these coming next week. They are all going to be at normal list. They're $7.95 plus shipping, which is what you pay for overseas. It'll just be cheaper because you're not paying for that drastically crazy shipping from overseas. It'll be ground, so good to go. So I don't really know how I'm going to film this. Just hang tight, and I'm gonna figure out how to unbox this so you can see what's in it without being over top. I kind of want to do it a different way, but just hang tight and I'll be back. All right, so I guess it's gonna have to be up top. I couldn't come up with a better camera angle to go down the side, or to be like on the side kind of deal. Let's cut this thing out. Let's see what it looks like. Ooh, I'll call a glimpse of it. Holy moly. Oh, man. They have stepped up their box art. Oh, that's so nice. Got the Land Rover emblem there. Official licensed product. Man, that is super nice. All right, let's get it out of this box here, maybe. All right, so you got this on this side. We'll go to this side. Oh, it shows all of them. Did they build 2 of these, you think, or is that just Photoshop? I think that's just Photoshop. That shows that. I think the other side's probably, yeah, it talks about all the different build it your way. So you can do hardtop and convertible. Windscreen will fold down. Bulkhead vent flaps, which is technically this truck's AC. You know, there's a little flap in there you could move, and it would open it up to different dimensions or different sizes, however you wanted. Rubber mirrors, you can put them either on the door or on the fender, which is normal. That's the way it's supposed to be. Full realistic interior and stainless steel radiator wire grill, which is what that is there. That's the normal Series 3 Land Rover grill. I hope somebody comes out with some sort of, even if it's just an overlay engine for that. I mean, these Series 3 motors, these 2.5s or 2 1/4s are not that crazy. So specs here, we got a wheelbase of 334. It's a 13.15 inch wheelbase. You've got full light buckets for 13 LEDs, and there's a Boom light kit coming out for this thing. I think it's supposed to be in July. There's also going to be a light kit coming out for the dash, which is really cool. Then it talks about the BRX02 109 chassis. This chassis is different than the other chassis. As far as I know, it's not the same as like the one for the Defender 110. It's a little bit different. So it has BRX 80 axles, not 70s or 90s. It's the halfway in betweens. 80 millimeter shocks. You get high clearance skid plates with the sliders. These are actually nylon and not printed anymore, which is really good. They're molded nylon, excuse me. That's what I meant to say. 2-speed transmission, torque twist, transfer case, overdrive ready. You get the Ford ESC mounting plate, which you put your ESC here. You get front and rear bumpers that look like Series 3 bumpers. You get a Series Land Rover wheel, which is what those look like. You get aluminum chassis rails, no longer carbon fiber. They have since changed that over on the other BRX02 as well. They have just aluminum on there now, no more carbon fiber. And you get mileage classic 3.82 tires, which those look very similar to what a factory-ish style Land Rover tire look like. Most people change all that though. So you do get heavy duty drive shafts made by the Kudu brand. Everything on the side, oh, I just saw something. You're not gonna be able to see it, but it has my name on the side of it, which means this is a dealer kit. I did not know I was getting this. And I'll show you what that means in a minute. Let's cut the cellophane off. And I am, the inside of me right now is going crazy, guys. I know I'm not portraying it when I'm talking to you, but boy, whew, I'm kind of losing it on the inside. Just gonna say. My dad sees this, he's gonna freak out as well. So, all right, let's open this thing up. Oh, it opens so nice. I love it. Oh, it's got it. Oh, I love it so much. All right, so this, goodness, I'm gonna move this back. So this is the hard body itself. It's in its own little box. Basically the same that's the outside of the box. It's got the same stuff on the back. Shows how when you put it together, that's crazy. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see it, but oh, this is gonna be insane. This build's gonna be wild. So not only did we get this here, we also got the updated, we've got a spare tire for here that goes on the hood, on the bonnet, so to speak. Wherever you're from in the world, that's how they talk. But see, I've got a regular hood and then a hood with an indentation, because this is where the spare tire goes. It sits down inside of it. So we did get that. That's part of the new, the buying this early, I think is what they called it. I'm not going to pull all this stuff out of here. What we'll do is we'll look at the manual. I've already seen the manual. I saw it a couple months before it come out, just because I got lucky, I guess. You do get a cool little mesh grill to go behind the grill, I'm assuming just for the look. This is for the air intake that goes in the fenders. Either side you choose. Then you get a couple of different stickers. Oh, you get the Land Rover petrol or diesel. These actually, I've still got some of these left over. We kept some. The Land Rover badge. Oh man, that's cool. Jason, you guys did a good job. Oh, this is cool here. I still have a bunch of these sitting around. So your specification of your particular truck, it came with a plate, and this usually was inside of the vehicle. I don't think it was under the hood or on the hood. I think it was inside the car. But see how it says, let me get it where you can see, 109 petrol, and then they've got one over here for diesel. And it basically just talks about all the different things like weight and stuff like that. And then you've got a fuse box one here, and then all that. And then of course your gauges, which is what they look like. Oh my God, that's so good. Oh, I love it so much. So there must be this is an extra piece, so they must have had a problem with this piece breaking. Let's look at the manual. This is going to be one of those builds. I'm sure it's going to be a bit of craziness. Oh man, this is going to be wild. So probably a good idea before you build is to go, of course, look through all this for sure. And then, so here you go, you can see what you need to see. This is going to be a very, very intensive build, I'm sure. So you choose, go to the next page. If you're going to do a hardtop, you go to page 27 if you're going to do a convertible. I think I'm going to do a convertible, and at the end of this I'll show you why, because I've got pictures of the truck that I want to kind of copy. Maybe, I don't know, it may change. My mind changes a lot with this because I've gone back and forth on what I want to build for this truck for sure. I'm hoping for a Series 2A 88 so I can match our rock crawler that we had when I was growing up. All right, so that's there. Let's look in here. So of course, going Boom like how they do, all this stuff is set up, packaged really nice. This is not near as elaborate as the BRX01, but that's okay. We don't have to have all that. They got these nice bags. So they got leaf springs mounted or marked. They've got drive shafts in here. It just says parts. Then we got wheels and tires. Some nice. Ooh, they're going to be just pins. I wonder if we can change those hubs. Oh, you get scale hardware. Some nice Land Rover style wheels. I love that. Tools and oil. So you do get some shock oil and some grease and some tools and things like that. Extra parts, which is like extra rod ends and screws and bolts and all the different things. And then screws and gears, because I think we have to build the transmission, I think, in this thing. You get a receiver box. I think this, because, you know, this is where the VIN plate is right here. I think I've got a specialty VIN plate, I think. I don't know. So, oh, it is. So here's my VIN plate. It says Dixieland RC on it. Oh, super excited about that. That's really cool. Then, of course, you get a mini servo for the 2-speed, like all the BRX01s. These nylon slide. Oh, these are really nice compared to those stupid daggum 3D printed ones. Battery tray, of course, center caps, and a tool to install the center caps, because these, I don't think those will screw it on. These are exactly what Land Rover ones look like. They were 6-bolt. Super beefy looking, kind of crazy. And of course, you get some wire management pieces. I like that. That's good. That's cool. They come with that as well. Then of course you got shocks, drive shaft, chassis mounting places, skid plate, bumpers. Oh, these look just like real ones. Oh, I'm so just going crazy about this. I know I keep talking about it, but man, it's something else. All right, so we do have to build the transmission, which is not a problem. I've built one before. It's pretty easy. The axles come pre-built. These should be greased already. I will check and let you know during the build just to make sure. But I think they are. I would imagine they are. Then you get aluminum chassis. Man, look at all these adjustments. Holy moly, that's a lot of holes in this thing. That's crazy that they did that. Anyway, that's cool. And then there's some kind of plate over. Oh, that's the bumper. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Get a tag. So this is, if you don't know, this is what tags look like in England. The front gets a tag on the bumper. It usually is going to be right there where the fairlead is. They've got them on the top up here, but I'm probably going to put mine over here because I'm not running a winch in mine. This one's going to be a super scale rig. This goes in the back. I may get something else made. I don't know if I want that or not. I don't know. We'll see. I don't really know what I'm going to do yet. A lot of this build is up in the air. I don't really know what I want to do, how I want to build it, how I want to show you guys how I build it. I don't really know how I want to do any of that stuff just yet. Of course, this is the chassis book to build. Of course, you get a sticker sheet. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, I love that. Legends never die. That's a series. That's a 2A. That is not a 2A. That's a Series 3. So a Series 2A, how you tell the difference is Series 3 headlights are in the fender. Series 2As are in the bulkhead. So they're in between the radiator or the grill up there. So they've got this marked as a 2A, I think. Yeah, let me double check that. Yes, it says 2A. That is not a 2A. So that sucks. But you get all the little Land Rover stuff, and then TD5. I love my Land Rover. I sure wish they had. Oh, that's it right there. It's not leaking oil, it's sweating power. That's the Land Rover. Also, the Land Rover has a saying: if it's not leaking oil, it's out. That's actually a thing. Yeah, they just don't leak oil. It marks their spot. But Land Rover actually had a sticker out that actually said that. It said if it's not leaking oil, it's out. That's kind of funny. So, of course, you get all of your chassis build here. This will be fairly simple. The BRX01 I built almost with no instructions. It was super easy to build. These are very highly detailed instructions versus what it used to have. I think the hardest part of this build for most people is going to be this transmission. It's not hard, but it's not super easy either because you have to watch all these shims. It has a ton of little shims. Like you've got one that's 0.1 thick and then half thick, you know, that kind of deal. So you've got to watch them. You've got to pay attention to what's where and how it goes, because if you miss one of these, this transmission will not spin. I know. Ask me how I know. I know. But everything else should be fairly simple. The axles are together. You have to build the springs, which isn't that big of a deal at all. This will actually be my first leaf spring rig as well, so that should be fun. I can't wait to drive this thing. So you get anti-wrap bars. You get, you know, rear bars as well. Cool little shocks. These shocks look really good. I mean, Kudu shocks are always nice anyway, but these are really, really cool looking. Solid metal. You know, a thick shaft, all that. So good to go. But everything looks like it'll be fairly simple to build. I do like how they redid the front servo on it. You know, you'll be able to see it. It drops down instead of it sticking up, kind of deal. It's kind of nice that they did that. I'm glad they did that. So I like it. I can't wait to build this thing. Hope you guys are ready for that, because we are going to build this thing. I don't know when. Soon. I'm going to build the chassis for sure here in the next week, because it'll be simple to build, so to speak. The body, that's another story. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do that, because that thing is going to be a handful, and I have to make sure I'm building it correctly and how I want it. You know, I'm going to take my time really trying to paint it and all that stuff too as well. It's going to be tough. It's going to be fun. It's going to be tough. But so that's it, everybody. Thank you for watching on this beautiful Saturday morning. Thanks for watching me unbox the BRX02 Land Rover Series III 109. I did not get as emotional as I thought it was. I am on the inside though, and I'm kind of tearing up a little bit. This is pretty freaking crazy. I am super stoked to have this. I'm really stoked to get one slightly earlier than most others did. Not really. Everybody kind of got theirs yesterday like I did, but kind of cool. I thoroughly enjoy that. And Jason, if you watch this, thank you, man. I appreciate all the stuff you've done for me over the past couple of years. This adventure has been pretty wild. I want to thank everybody else that's watching as well for watching, liking, buying something, whether it be one thing and you've never bought anything again. I appreciate it. This thing's grown to be what it's been in 5 years because of you guys. I have tried to make sure I've gotten everything you need for your crawler, and I've hustled a lot to make this happen, and it's getting harder and harder to do by myself, but I'm still doing it, and I'm pushing through and making it happen and everything else. So I really do appreciate y'all watching, liking, commenting, just shooting me a comment on anything on the Facebook, Instagram, any of that stuff. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. I really, really enjoy going to an event and you guys walk up and say that you love watching my stuff. I know I don't put out a lot, and I know I say that a bunch, but man, it's definitely makes me feel good, because this is really hard to do. I don't think you guys that don't do this YouTube stuff don't really realize how tough this actually is to keep it up. It's not hard to film something, it's not hard to put it out, but it's hard to keep it going week after week or month after month or whatever. So that's the hard part. If it wasn't for that, I'd have videos out all the time, but you know, that's just how it goes. I'm busy. So, oh, sorry about that. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you next time.